Some of the most iconic comic book characters weren't carefully planned. They were accidents. Printing errors, rushed artists, and last-second fixes ended up creating legends. And today, we're breaking down the biggest comic book mistakes that became canon. Most known for being a giant green brute. But what if I told you Hulk was never supposed to look like this? In Hulk's first ever appearance, he wasn't green, but in fact, the color gray? Yes, that's true. The Hulk was supposed to be originally gray and not green, since Stan Lee in an interview once said he thought that he would look more menacing being gray, but the printer had issues printing out gray and printed out a different color every page, usually this color being green. So he made the last second decision, which probably saved the character and made him green in the very next issue. I truly believe this was a mistake which was for the better.
What kind of monster are you? The Wolverine.
The man who's best at what he does, and what he does isn't so pleasant. That's not how the saying goes, but I think I'm close enough. Now, Wolverine's suit colors weren't messed up. It was actually his character itself that was. You see, Wolverine's claws originally were part of his gloves and not his body, unlike future versions. But back then, artists would often forget to draw his gloves. And Marvel eventually became tired of it, so they wrote into the canon that his claws were part of his body. Also, he originally didn't even have a healing factor.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's surprising, I know. He ended up having a healing factor later on to explain his recovery from many life-threatening injuries, such as his first ever appearance where he fought the Incredible Hulk. Not giving him claws that were from his body and no healing factor and facing him off against the Hulk in a 1v1 was way too brutal to say the least. But hey, Marvel made him do it.
What are you? I'm Batman.
The world's greatest detective. No debate, the most popular character in the world. Sorry, Spidey. His costume was actually changed, but not from a printing issue. It was actually from an artist error. And it's a good thing I brought up Spider-Man earlier, since the same thing happened to him too. In the early days of comic books, Batman wore a suit, which was blue. Or was it? You see, back in the day, artists weren't able to print out different shades of black. So what was their solution to this? They would use the color blue to represent light reflecting off of the characters. But here's where people messed up. On characters such as Batman, Spider-Man 2099, and even Venom, people thought that this meant their suits were actually blue. This is where the blue suit used prominently in the 60s and 70s of Batman originated from. And also Miguel O'Hara having his suit blue and red instead of black and red, which I honestly think would have been a better choice. This didn't affect Venom as much, however, since people could somewhat tell his suit was black and not blue, but there still are some cases where he is blue and not black.
You have nothing.
The Clown Prince of Crime. One of, if not the most popular comic villains of all time, the Joker has had a massive impact on pop culture, appearing in TV shows, animated shows and movies, multiple live-action movies, including multiple roles that won awards as far as winning an Oscar, which in itself is insane, appearing in multiple video games, often as a main villain, and many other forms of media. Everyone and their mother knows who the Joker is. But what if I told you he was actually supposed to be a one-off villain? You heard it right, first appearing in Batman issue number 1, and that was supposed to be his last ever appearance. But the editors of the comic had different plans. Originally, Joker was supposed to die in the comic, but the editors liked him so much that they changed it last second and kept the Joker alive. I can't even imagine what the superhero industry would have been like without the Joker. He may have had a greater impact than Batman if you think about it, to say the least.
As to say, I'm Frankenstein's monster.
Magneto is the most popular X-Men villain and one of the greatest Marvel villains of all time. But he too was supposed to be different than he turned out. Magneto's helmet was supposed to look different than it actually appears. In most iterations, Magneto's helmet is usually the color red, but originally his helmet was supposed to be completely purple. But just like the Hulk, his helmet too had issues being printed, with it usually being printed out as a different color, this color usually being red. So they eventually gave in and made his helmet red instead of purple. Did this really save him? I'm not 100% sure. Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, most notably known for his line,
I tell you what.
Let me tell you something else, man.
Listen, asshole, let me tell you something.
okay, maybe he's known for more than just that. But hey, that's how I remember him so well. Now, if you know who the Punisher is, then you probably know what he's really known for. That being one of, if not the most brutal anti-heroes out of all comic book characters. And he has become quite the icon as well, being in many cartoons in the 90s, having his own movies, starring in his own Netflix show, and even playing a role in the upcoming Spider-Man movie. But what if I told you, Punisher was never supposed to exist after his first appearance? Back in the 70s, when Marvel first came up with the idea for Punisher, they actually had different plans for him in mind. His first ever appearance was in the Spider-Man comic, and he was meant to be a one-off villain, but due to him being popular amongst readers, they decided to keep him in comics and projects until he became the character we know today. Kinda crazy to think.
Kill him!
Good luck with that.
Look up there, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Superman. It's something I can quote since Superman can fly, but originally that wasn't the case. You see, when Superman was first created, he wasn't actually able to fly. He could only leap over tall buildings. Until later, writers wrote in the canon that he had the ability to fly, and that's a good thing since movies such as Christopher Reeve's Superman wouldn't have gotten as much attraction, possibly ruining the character.
It kind of feels personal.
The first Avenger, Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, just a kid from Brooklyn, known for his massive metal circular shield. Wasn't always like this. You see, originally Captain America's shield was supposed to be triangular, but Marvel received legal threats from another publisher whose character was similar to their source material, so they had to make Cap's shield a different shape. I guess it's a good thing that they did this since Cap is the only character with a shield left standing.
I could do this all day.
Plus, that changed Cap's entire fight style since he can't throw a triangular shield and have it bounce back to him. So there we have it. These were mistakes made by comic book artists and writers, which created the characters we know and love today. There are many other occasions where this happened, and I didn't get the chance to cover them yet. So, if you'd like to see a part 2, just let me know by leaving a like on this video. If this video reaches 10 likes, I'll make a part 2. That's not a hard goal for us to reach, that's for sure. Thank you for watching this video all the way to this point. If you haven't yet, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.